The Champions League round of 32 second matches have just went underway. Intense games, results that you didn't really think that were going to happen. So let's go straight into first match we have here is Atletico Madrid defeating Club Brugge 4-1, 7-4 on aggregate, with a hat trick by Sorloth and a goal from American player Johnny Cardoso. This match I was actually expecting much closer. First half, you have Club Brugge winning, they tied it up, and Club Brugge has been a team that's been playing good against the top teams in Europe. They played good against City, good against PSG last season, good against Barcelona. I think they drew. And coming to Atletico, you tie, you score, what is it? Was it 2-2 or 3-3? 3-3 in the first leg. Just to come in this match and didn't go really the way it was supposed to be. Starting 11, this is a strong Let's Go side. They brought in the summer and they brought it in January, and now it's working. You're finally getting into the groove of things. La Liga is really inconsistent, but in Champions League, they're slowly getting to there. They have a lot of good players in the starting 11 and also the bench that you can bring in and out. And Club Brugge has always been a team, really underrated team that's been playing good against top teams in Europe, similar to, probably not the extent to a Bodo Glimt, but 100%, capable of playing really well against, one of the top sides in Europe. But this game, Sorloth, amazing hat trick. That's something that you want to see as a 9, proper number 9 in the box player, getting, the important, getting the ball towards you and scoring just really important goals. He can score a header, he can score, just regular shot and goal. He's a really good striker, and that you need, and something Atletico definitely needs when Julian Alvarez is not scoring and Griezmann hitting that age. Great player, and then Johnny Cardoso scoring an amazing goal. Something you want to see from a USMNT player. He's been suffering a lot of injuries this time in Atletico, so he got to get to the groove of things, especially when the World Cup is just a few months away. So, really important win from Atletico to Club Brugge, and now they could be facing. What was the team that could be facing? It is they can verse a Liverpool or a Tottenham. So one of the English teams they're gonna verse. So that's gonna be a really intense fixture. That's actually a pretty good fixture. Here we have Inter going against Bodo Glimt, and I didn't really think Bodo Glimt was gonna win this match. Actually, they won the first match pretty comfortably, and going here, I think you're at home, you're Inter. Don't get me wrong, Bodo Glimt have really good players, but I just am like, okay, Inter got to lock in. They were finalists last season, top of Serie A right now. They're gonna find it, and it did look like Inter could have scored more than one goal, but Bodo Glimt just had them just like that. Yeah, Hagi's what a player he is. This whole team, Bodo Glimt, it's their off season basically. They're not playing league games. The only games they've been playing is Champions League matches, which is really impressive. People are like, oh, it's easier. Man, not really. I mean, you're 1 week you're versing a City, and next week you're versing an Atletico, and the other week you're versing an Inter, and you're not playing any other matches in between because this is your off season technically. So that's pretty impressive for the Norwegian side there. Inter Milan, pretty much the same team that they had last year. Um, they just didn't look like Bodo Glimt just really had Inter on that, and they could go far if they manage to get Sporting. It's either Manchester City or Sporting for Bodo Glimt. They can 100% make it to a quarterfinals. This team is something, and the manager should get a lot of praise. Just a really strong team, and didn't really like. I seen all the goals of this match, and I didn't watch it like that, but man, really impressive to score 5 goals against Inter Milan. A team that everyone was fearing of last year. That was really impressive there. Let's go. Newcastle. They could have scored 10 goals in both matches, but they scored 6 in the first leg. 100%. It was 6-1. You're obviously gonna go through. This match is just try to score, but quarterback managed to get 2, which is pretty impressive for their standards. Newcastle, a goal from Tonali, a goal from Julington and Sven Botman. Beautiful header, amazing cross from there. Great play. The corner tactic they were using there. But man, yeah, this Newcastle side, they could verse who was it? Chelsea or Barcelona. So an English rival or Barcelona, who they've already played against and looked pretty decent earlier this season against Barcelona. So that's going to be an exciting match. Newcastle, it's weird. For me, they have the players. They do. When you sign Elanga, you sign Baltimore, you're expecting huge things, not really been to that standards. Harvey Barnes, I've always been a huge fan of. Tonali playing good. Um, on paper they have good players, but most of the times they're injured. If not, they're just on the bench because they're not performing as well. So you still have Jacob Murphy starting the Champions League match in the Big 26. So that's really something. But the bench. You see the starting 11, and you see their bench. They have great players. We said that they signed Anthony Gordon, who's been playing there for a couple years now. Lewis Hall. They have good players. They do, but I don't think they're gonna go really far in the Champions League. They could be. It was a Barca Chelsea. They could get knocked down around 16. Um, but they have the players. It really depends. Really, really. If they do get Barca, just put in your pacey wingers. Really, put in your pacey wingers. Get Walter in the middle, and I think you can score a lot of goals against Barcelona. And in this match, I didn't watch this match. I could no correlation. I think Schick had a few chances. Grimaldo hit the crossbar. I'm pretty sure. I know he had a good game, but besides that, I didn't really pay attention to this match. But Leverkusen goes through, and they could verse a Bayern or a Arsenal, which is really bad for them. Against a German team that you've gone against, you could study it up and see. Not sure if they played. I'm sure they played this season so far. I'm not sure what the result is, but important game for Leverkusen. But yeah, it's pretty much what's happened. The draw. I'm not sure what the draw is, but Real Madrid plays tomorrow. Rest of the matches tomorrow, so we will see what would happen with my team.